Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? So I'm very excited for this video because I'm going to be doing indie makeup releases, and I'm just going to be talking about all the new indie releases from the past week and sometimes a little bit further back when I forget to talk about them, and then also I throw in a few mainstream releases at the end. Today is a little bit more even, I don't have as many things to talk about, but this video series is inspired by Angelica Nikas and Samantha March, so I have both of their channels linked down below, as well as the Community Will I Buy It playlist and all the accounts I use on Instagram to gather the information and pictures to make this video happen. So let's just go ahead and jump right on in. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is what I forgot to talk about last week, and I don't understand how it slipped my mind because this was the release that I was the most excited about, and this is the Rani Cosmetics Shattered Gems palette, which is beautiful. So I saw 8 of the 12 swatches like 2 weeks back, and I talked about how I like the color scheme so far, and I was curious what the last 4 shades would be, and now we have seen the whole reveal of the palette, and it is available for purchase already. I believe it's retailing for like $48, so it's definitely more of a high-end price tag, but I think that the packaging is super beautiful. It has a mirror, and the shades, I love the shades. I feel like it is a cool tone palette, but it's unique, and it has like a white purple duochrome shade and like super metallic silver and blue and like just super fun, unique tones. I really feel like this palette stands on its own. Like, it is a unique palette, and I don't have anything in my collection that looks like this. And I really am not normally drawn towards cool tone palettes, but I definitely am drawn towards this. And I was debating on purchasing this. Like, this definitely caught my attention to the point I was thinking, am I really going to buy this? And I decided to go ahead and wait for reviews just because I'm still over my, like, what's the saying? I'm still like over my head. That's not it. Basically, I'm still drowning in new palettes, and I have lots of new things to play with and review, so I decided I was going to go ahead and wait to purchase this and see what other people think. But I definitely really love this color scheme. I think it's super fun, and I was definitely inspired by it. I love the packaging, so this caught my eye 100%, and I still am considering to purchase this one. I just wanted to give myself more time to think about it. So the next thing I want to talk about is from Clionadh Cosmetics, and this is some new Multichrome shadows, and they have been teasing these for a little bit. They've done a few different swatches. If I can remember where, like, to find the swatches and sneak peeks, like, I'll put a collage all together. Right now I just have, like, the one picture. So I am definitely excited about these. I love that they are coming out with pressed versions. I'm all about pressed, and these look like some really beautiful colors, so I cannot wait to see more. Okay, next is a very interesting release, and this is from Emby Boutique, and they released a color changing eyeshadow, which is pretty iconic. That's like super cool. So you can see on the left is inside, it's like a really light blue shade, and then on the right is outside, it turns to a like purpley red shade. And I think that the science behind this, the idea behind it to have makeup that color changes, I think that's really cool. The thing is, I feel like this isn't like very practical, because like for the blue, like if I put a blue all over my lid, whatever colors I paired with it, and then I go outside and it turns like red purple, you know, you'd have to like, I guess you'd have to like overthink a little bit how you do your makeup to make sure that it looks good when you're inside and when you're outside. Or if you're like me and you just stay inside all the time, maybe it doesn't matter. But I think it's a cool idea, but I just don't, like, I wouldn't purchase it. I don't see it being something that I would use a lot. I mean, maybe it would be cool if you did like a liner and you used a base and then you put this over that and like just like did a wing, and then whenever you went outside it changed colors. I think that would be cool. I think this is retailing for like $18 or something like that, so I think it's definitely interesting, and it's probably something, like, I don't know why I could see like a really big viral video and it's like trying color changing eyeshadow using this, but I just don't see it working for me. But I think it definitely caught my attention. Next is 2 new palettes from Rude Cosmetics, and they are both complete matte palettes. So the one on the left is all matte shades. Oh, not matte shades, all neutral shades. I just said that they were both all matte, geez. And what is this? There's like, it's like a lingerie collection. The neutral one is called Romantic Nights, and then the colorful one is called, what does that say? Naughty Nights. So I feel like these are actually pretty. Like the neutral one, I know that I don't need that. Like, I have those colors a million times over, but it does have like some pinky tones, some orangey tones. That's definitely like my kind of neutrals that I would gravitate towards. And then the colorful one, the naughty, the naughty palette, I think is really pretty. It looks very, very bright and neon, and I'm curious if the pigment is like as good as it looks in the picture, because those look like super bright shadows. Like, there's a few different greens, a few different blues. I mean, it is a rainbow matte palette, but I feel like, I don't know if the saturation is turned up in this picture or something, but those shades look very, very neon, so I am kind of curious about that. Next, we have another palette, which is from Midas Cosmetics, Midas, and it is La Dulce Vida palette, and it's available now for pre-order for $21, and I like the name. Anytime I think of The Sweet Life, I just think of Zack and Cody, and I like have like the song going on in the back of my head right now. Overall, I feel like this palette is just okay. Like, looking at it, I feel like the left side kind of drew me in just because I'm like obsessed with greens and blues, but overall I feel like there's nothing wrong with it, but there's nothing that I love about it either, so I'm kind of just like, nah, like I don't need it, and I don't really have any more feelings towards it, basically. Alright, next is another palette. Lots of palettes today. And this is from Menagerie Cosmetics, and this is super cute. So they did sneak peek a few months ago that they were going to be coming out with like miniature palettes, and they released one called the Courtship palette, and it's got the I can't remember the name of that bird on there. Jeez. I think it's kind of cool that if you zoom in onto the palette, you can see in between the two birds, there are what it appears to be two like little fairies looking at the birds. And I think that's kind of cute, specifically for them, because they used to be Makeup Monster Cosmetics. So it feels like they're just like keeping this tiny little piece of like the like mystical theme that they used to have and adding it into like the cover. I feel like that's pretty cute, and I like that there. So as far, like, I love the concept of this palette. It is 6 shades. It looks to be like the perfect little size. It is only $20. I just feel like the colors don't speak to me that much. I like them together, and I like the different tones. There's purple, there's a red, there's a peach, and then there's like your typical mustardy shade, a gold shade, and a brown. So I don't hate this at all. I think it looks really nice together. It looks like a nice palette. I just feel like all the shades I kind of already have in my collection, and it would not bring like any value for me. And that's basically it. But I feel like it definitely works for them, because their other two palettes have been a little bit more colorful, and it feels like a nice addition to their line, and I am just like so excited because they sneak peeked forever ago that they would be doing a whale, I think it was a whale song palette, and like the cover was blue and everything, and I'm just hoping that it is a little tiny 6-pan blue themed palette. I think that would be amazing. This is pretty exciting. I just wanted to go ahead and announce this. It's not a new product, but Blackmoon Cosmetics is is now available, or going to be available. Geez, I don't know what's wrong with me. Blackmoon Cosmetics is now going to be available in Ulta starting on 2/24, and they will be at 350 locations nationwide and online. And I'm not sure if these are the only shade or the only products that are going to be available to start off with, but it looks like some of their lipsticks and then their Orb of Light Full Moon palette. And I think this is really cool. They are a brand that I definitely want to try. I'm pretty sure I included them in my brands I want to try in 2019. And I like when brands come to Ulta because it's more accessible. You get to use your points. So definitely excited about this. Although nothing, maybe if their liquid shadows were there, that'd be something I'd be more interested in, but I don't really see myself purchasing anything at this point. But I am very happy for them, and it's always exciting to see more indie brands get added to the Ulta lineup. Alright, the last indie release I want to talk about today is from Amy Hearts Beauty, and they are going to be coming out with a full, it seems like it's going to be space-themed collection, and it's just like they've only shown black and white pictures, but there's going to be a palette and a few other things. And the only like true color reveals we've seen so far are these 3 loose pigments, and these look really beautiful. They look to be duochromes, and one looks to be blue to purple, which that one really calls to me. Like, I'm just imagining that on my inner corner. And then there's a pink to a yellow and a blue to a green. So I think that these all look really stunning, and for some reason I am like super into pigments right now. I really want to make an order to Peaches Makeup, but I'm just like holding out and just taking my time, but that's definitely my biggest temptation right now. So I think these look really pretty, and I'm curious about the texture. I'm curious how they will perform, so definitely intrigued by these. Now moving on to a few mainstream releases. One of the things that definitely caught my eye this week is new from Ole Hendrickson, and is their Banana Bright Face Primer. And I saw like a deal to get this for like half off, and I was like, don't do it, Amy, don't do it. You do not need another face primer. And I resisted, but I really like the idea of this, and I was like trying to like justify it in my head as skincare because that's what Ole Hendrickson mostly does. And I talked myself out of it, but the reason I'm so intrigued by this is because I have several samples from their like banana other things. Like I have a serum, I think it's called the Truth Serum, the under eye banana cream, and then also like an all over moisturizer, and I really like them. But more than liking them, I like the smell. I think that they smell amazing. I know that like apparently smells aren't good for your skin, but it smells so good. So that's why I'm like, I want a banana primer because I think it would smell really good, but that's not a good enough reason to buy it. So I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to buy it because it's against my low buy rules, but I was definitely intrigued by that. All right, next, another thing that I am very curious about is a new brow product from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It is their Dipbrow Gel, and it's supposed to be the perfect combination of dip brow and brow gel, pigmented full coverage, waterproof, smudge proof, and it comes in the same 11 shades as the Dipbrow. I think this sounds really cool, and I am very curious to see other people review these and get them. Like, I'm gonna wait a hot minute before I try one. But the reason I'm so intrigued by this is because I already have pretty like thick eyebrow hair. Like, I have a lot of hair, but I don't have any pigment basically. Like, my eyebrows are very blonde, slightly orange. So I feel like I always have to fill them in because you can't see my eyebrows that much unless I fill them in, but there is already hair. So I feel like if I had a brow gel that was like pretty full coverage that added, I don't know, I just feel like it would work really well for me. So I'm curious to see, especially other redheads try this out, because I always feel weird about the Anastasia like brow shade range because I've tried so many different shades, and I want to try the shade Caramel. I think that might work for me, but I just don't want it to be too dark. So I'm very curious to see how it would be, because I bought the Lime Prime Bushy Brow in the redhead shade, and this is the like a horrible shade. If you're a fake redhead and your hair is like the like dyed redhead shade, this would work perfect for you. But if you're a real redhead, this is just like straight up bright red. It does not work for my brows, and also I really don't like the formula. So definitely looking at these and reviews and seeing what people think about them. All right. Next is something that I feel like a lot of people have been hating on, and I don't hate this. Like, I really don't. This is the Zodiac Pices palette from BH Cosmetics, and the price on this is amazing. It's only $14. I was disappointed that they are not they're not doing monochromatic eyeshadow palettes, which is what I was really hoping for. And this could have been an amazing green palette. So I understand the disappointment, but if you let go of the disappointment of it not being like the perfect monochromatic green palette, especially to go with this packaging and actually look at the shades, I feel like I like the shades. It actually reminds me a lot of the Rani Cosmetics one I just talked about. I feel like it has the same vibes, but I do like the Rani one a little bit better, but this is way better price. Of course, the Rani one is an indie brand, so, you know, you could go back and forth either way, but I feel like it's kind of like I said, similar vibes, not exact dupes or anything, but overall I think this is pretty, like the different, like the pastel blue and green and like the light purple, and there are some browns, and I really wish the gold shade in the middle was something different, but overall I do like this, and I think it's a pretty color scheme, so I'm not hating it. All right, let's see. I'm going to leave all the stuff from ColourPop towards the end because they've got quite a few new things. Also from BH Cosmetics is the new Opalescent eyeshadow palette, which I was very curious about this when I saw like the picture of the packaging. I was like, opalescent, like, what's it gonna be? But then I saw the inside, And I feel like this looks like a giant version of the Carly Bible palettes. Like, it has very similar vibes. I think the packaging is beautiful. There's some purple, some warm tones. I don't hate it, but I definitely don't need this. Although I feel like you can't go wrong with BH Cosmetics because in my experience, they have a really good quality and they kind of have something for everyone at a really good price point. So this isn't something I need, but I do think that it looks pretty. Something else that I thought was cool is that Too Faced is coming out with a new shade for their Peach Perfect Mattifying Loose Setting Powder. The shade is going to be caramelized peach, and I think that this is just nice because this is such a hyped up powder. So many people love this. I think it's a really good powder, and it's just nice to see it in another shade. Although I have seen people of all different skin tones use the original translucent shade. I cannot speak today, but I think that this is nice to have another option, and this will be really pretty on someone with a deeper skin tone. So I'm glad to see them expanding it, especially because, you know, it's a powder that's done really well. And then Viseart came out with 2 new palettes that I feel like people are freaking out over. So the one on the right is like, nah, to me, like it's just a neutral palette, so I don't have any feelings about it. I just don't need that. But the one on the left, I think is pretty. It has like the pop of yellow, purple, red, and overall I like it, but I just feel like I don't like it that much, like to pay for the price of it, and I don't think any of the shades in here look that unique. I am kind of curious to try the Viseart shimmer formula, but I feel like people are freaking out over this palette and I just don't see it at all, which is a good thing because then I am not tempted to buy it. Alright, last but not least, a few different things from ColourPop. Okay, first of all, this is such a surprise. Honestly, I can't believe that ColourPop did this, but they came out with another neutral palette with a pop of blue. I am honestly shocked. I feel like this is so new and revolutionary for them. Definitely not something that they've ever done before, a neutral palette with a pop of blue. No, but seriously, I don't have any interest in this collection. I think it's a collaboration with Zoella, and from what I've seen, people seem to hate her. I really don't know anything about her. I didn't even know if she's a beauty YouTuber. I don't really keep up with anyone except for beauty YouTubers and Shane Dawson, and that's pretty much it. So I don't know anything about her, or why people hate her. I think that the packaging of the collection is cute, but it is so boring to me. It's so done before, like, especially ColourPop. Like, they just love their pop of blue, and I'm like, everyone has done a pop of blue. I'm so over it. This is so late to the trend. I kind of get it for this palette because it's like the pop of blueberry and like the waffles, but no, I'm so over that. So ColourPop is also coming out with some glosses, and these are the So Juicy glosses, and I'm just really not about these for a few different reasons. The first is I just don't like the packaging. I hate packaging like that for lip products. It feels like the lip product that I would use in elementary school, so that's kind of a silly reason, but that definitely keeps me away from buying something like that. The second reason is because I just don't like plumping lip products. I feel like I've had some really bad reactions to certain ones, and it kind of makes me steer like far away from them. Like the Too Faced one in particular, like I had an allergic reaction to that, and I feel like anything with like the intense minty, like tingly feeling, it burns my lips, and I just don't like it at all. And I just feel like it's not worth it. So the fact that it says plumping makes me not want to try it. And also, I have extremely dry lips, and I've been trying to do my best to use lip products in general that are better for my lips and help a little bit more. And the ingredients that are used in plumping lip glosses are not necessarily the best ingredients for your lips or for helping them. Like, they dry them out, they cause allergic reactions. Like, the whole point of a plumping lip gloss is to cause a reaction to make your lips look bigger, which I feel like I don't even need. So I would 100% prefer to just stick to glosses that are glossy but moisturizing, like the Fenty ones. Last but not least, ColourPop is coming out with a bundle of 40 different lippy pencils, and I think this is a great idea if you are someone who is new to makeup and you need a bunch of lip pencils and you're getting into it and you want to have all the different colors, because there's neutrals, there's brights, there's deep colors. You could use these as liners, as bases. Like, I use lip liners as all different things. I've used lip liners in my waterline. I think it's a really great idea if you don't have that many lip products already. It could add a lot into your collection, but if you already own a bunch of lip pencils. I just feel like this would be an unnecessary purchase, especially for me, like $100 and something. I don't want to spend on lippy pencils. It wouldn't be worth it because I already have enough lippy pencils. I have some nudes. Even then, I feel like, I don't know, I like the idea of it, but a lot of these, like, when it comes to a lip liner, I feel like the little discrepancies and differences don't make that much of a difference if you put a lipstick on top. Like, I don't necessarily feel like, basically I don't feel like this is that necessary unless you really love lip liners and you don't have any, basically. I couldn't see spending the money on that. So that is everything for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please feel free to comment down below what your favorite and least favorite releases were from this week, because I love hearing y'all's opinion. And that is everything. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye.